in 1982, where Don was the associate pastor at First Baptist Church in Jacksonville Beach. Barbara was a stay-at-home mom using her formal education as a teacher and volunteer capacities in their church and the children's elementary school. And that's when our community began to feel the presence of Reverend Lynn. As a member of the Beaches Ministerial Association, a founding board member of BEAM, Beaches Emergency Assistant Ministry, member and chairman of the Mission House Board of Directors and chairman of Fletcher Middle and Senior High School Advisory Committees, and a founding board member of the Beaches Resource Center. In 1990, Reverend Lynn was named the senior chaplain at Baptist Beaches. According to the hospital president, Joe Mitry, Reverend Lynn has made a difference in the lives of so many who have faced physical, emotional, and spiritual challenges. He has served our patients and their families, employees, physicians, and members of the auxiliary for over 24 years, and was named the legendary caregiver in 2009, one who goes above and beyond what is expected, not only in the hospital, but in the community. Don has served as our pastor, and we have been blessed to be his church. Meanwhile, Barbara was making her own impact on the world of children. She returned to the classroom full-time in 1990, simultaneously pursuing a master's in early education at the University of North Florida. After receiving her degree, she was a UNF adjunct professor in education and steering committee member for the Florida Institute of Education's Early Literacy and Learning Model. In 1995, around the time educators across the country began to focus on the importance of a child's early brain development and quality care in preschool classrooms, she shifted into the field of early childhood education as the preschool director for Community Presbyterian Church in Atlantic Beach. Barbara was an early leader and a powerful voice for the importance of specialized training for preschool teachers. She was a board member of the Child Development Education Alliance, a regional commissioner and accreditation validator for the Association of Christian Schools International, founding board member of the Duval Early Learning Directors Network, and of the Early Learning Coalition of Duval. At Community Presbyterian Preschool, she modeled the importance of providing educationally rich learning environments for very small children, where their young personalities could grow and thrive. Above all, she inspired several generations of young Beach children to love school and help their families to nurture and take pride in their children. Together, Barbara and Don share a belief in wholeness, where medical care, quality preschool education, and local service weave a tapestry of family, community, volunteers, neighbors, faith, and love. Their lives and work are testimony to the fact that we are all in this together. Don and Barbara retired this year, but they continue to work to improve the quality of life in our Beaches communities. They both volunteer at the hospital and are active in their church. They enjoy their children, Jonathan and Casey, with her husband Doug, 4 grandchildren, and seek to live a simple, uncomplicated life. But don't be fooled by their equanimity. They are watching, participating, and crafting new solutions for families. Don would say, it's a God thing. And we would all say, thank you.
Thank you for your applause and your recognition. If you will allow me 2 minutes and 8 seconds to share a thought or two with you. You are a very impressive crowd this night. We wish to thank the Beaches Area Historical Society and the selection committee for choosing Barbara and me as 2 of the Beaches legends this year. We are truly honored and genuinely humbled as we stand before you this evening. Thank you for these pleasures and for the meaningfulness of these moments. A number of years ago, there was an affiliation I had with a group known as the JCs. They have a creed. The last line of that creed says that service to humanity is the greatest work of life. We've long known about serving families and friends, communities. We came here in 1982 as part of the pastoral staff at First Baptist Church. It is there that we first had the sense of what it means to live at the beaches. It was an interesting taste. Because there we learned that it's not just serving humanity, but it is neighbor serving neighbor, friend helping friend. It became personal. It became community. In the early 90s, I switched from parish ministry to clinical ministry, and I had the good pleasure of talking to Jerry Miller, who at that time was the administrator of the Baptist Medical Center Beaches. He's here somewhere tonight. And when I went to talk with him, I went to talk asking for a job. And I'm grateful that he found room in his budget for a chaplain and he hired me. But that's not why I bring this up. The interesting thing occurred in our conversation. He told me, and this is a paraphrase, he said, all things being equal, and then truly all things being equal, if he has a preference, he will hire someone from the beach in contrast from someone who is not, because of the emphasis at the community hospital on neighbor helping neighbor. And over my years with Baptist Beaches, the theme of community, the theme of friend helping friend, neighbor helping neighbor has not changed in the least. It's one of the blessings of having been employed at Baptist Beaches Hospital. I would want to also say that we've been associated with other groups in the area, and that theme has run deep and wide as well. We've been associated in a part of Beam with Mission House, Community Kitchen, Exchange Club, Meals on Wheels. There's a variety of churches, and there's a host of other community groupings that have the same notion of helping each other because we're neighbor helping neighbor. That has been a blessing to us. And it's been a real blessing to us as well that in 1982, you allowed us to move into your community, and you included us to help you as you ministered neighbor to neighbor. It has enriched our lives. Our quality of life has been greatly improved because we live in the Beaches community. Thank you, and God bless you.
Linda told me I had to talk too. Obviously, many of Don's comments echo my thoughts. To be among those honored tonight and joining the Beaches legends of years past is humbling. The presence of our family, our friends, our colleagues, and our fellow honorees really enrich this experience. Thank you. You're each a significant part of our becoming who we are today, not just us personally, but us as a community. Through your acceptance, your encouragement, your example, and your love, we continue to grow collectively. Although Don and I have a lot of similarities in our backgrounds and we have a long history together, there were two distinctives that stood out to me from what he said as I reflected on my journey to this experience tonight. Don was reared and rooted in his hometown of Paducah. My family were nomads. My home was wherever my dad's employment called us, and I never felt settled growing up. The Beaches community is home. During the 34 years that we've lived here, I've become rooted. Thank you for welcoming me, my family, and for letting us become a part of the fabric of this wonderful place of people and geography. By my preteen years, I knew that my calling was working with young children, but back in the 60s, there was no early childhood degree. Practicality and life circumstances led me to other meaningful pursuits. But God's direction and timing brought me full circle in 1995 when I became director of Community Presbyterian Preschool. And as Paul Harvey would say, you know the rest. Don and I often joke about his being Mr. Barbara and my being Mrs. Don, depending on the perspective in which you know us.
Yeah.
Thank you for the privilege of being Don and Barbara, your partners in positively impacting our collective neighbors, those who are rooted, those who are passing through, and everyone in between. May God bless us all as we continue to serve here together. Thank you.